Bitmaps versus vector graphics. Bitmaps are a collection or an array of bits, which are also known as pixels. Up until now, this is likely the only kind of graphic you've ever worked with. However, there is another. Vector graphics are paths which are plotted through mathematical algorithms. The method of using these algorithms was spearheaded by a man named Pierre Bézier. Pierre was a French engineer, and he had an idea. He came up with a way of using de Castelnu's algorithms to plot any curve between two or more points, and those curves could in turn be used for any number of industrial applications. He was a leading influence on how CAD and CAM machines work and how 3D models are created, and it's all beside the point. Because vectors are processed in this way, they don't store a finite number of pixels and can be scaled to an infinite size with no pixelation. This means they can be used for something as small as, say, a stamp, to a package like a bottle, to a poster, all the way up to a planet-sized billboard, and you can do it all from the same file. So what does all of this actually mean? Why do we still use bitmaps? Isn't vector just far superior to raster in every way? Well, it is and it isn't. See, vectors and bitmaps are good at different things. Vectors are good at making clean, simple shapes which usually use a limited color palette. They're also perfect for images that need to be scaled, either larger or smaller. Bitmaps, on the other hand, are good at details, usually things like color shifts. They're also far better for sub-48 pixel designs like desktop icons. Bitmaps are also how photographs and scans are stored, since it's impossible to capture an image as a vector. For example, sometimes you need a complex image. Digital paintings can only work as bitmaps because in a bitmap you have full control over each pixel. Vectors can only store a few pieces of information about the contents of a path. One is the stroke or the outline. The second is the fill, which is the color or the color gradient which is placed inside the path. When you create vector graphics, you're basically accomplishing your goal by doing one of three things: manipulating the stroke, fill, or the shape of the path itself. So you may be asking right about now, if vectors are based on algorithms, does that mean that I have to do math to use them? Well, thanks to Pierre, the answer is no. Manipulating vector shapes is easy and completely math-free. There's also brush and pencil tools which can turn natural strokes into vector shapes. Also, just like in a bitmap program, you can use layers and layer groups with vectors. But these are just the basics, so take time to experiment with these programs and learn for yourself.